My wife secretly gave our entire savings to her brother's failing business and lied for years. Now she's blaming me for ending the marriage. I'm 34 male, and I thought my life was pretty normal. I'd been married to C for 7 years. We met in college, and she was everything I thought I wanted. Smart, ambitious, caring. We dated for a few years, got married, and for the most part, things were good. No kids, just us, living in a small house we were saving to upgrade from. I work in IT, making a decent living, and she does freelance design work from home. At least, that's what she was supposed to be doing. For the longest time, I didn't see it coming. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm some kind of genius who had everything figured out. I didn't. It started small. She seemed stressed a lot, distracted, not herself. When I asked if everything was okay, she'd brush it off. Just busy, she'd say. Work's been a lot lately. I didn't push her. Freelance can be chaotic, so I figured she was just dealing with a tough client or two. Then the money stuff started to get weird. Our savings account, the one we'd been building up for years, wasn't growing like it should have been. We both contributed to it, and while we weren't dumping thousands in every month, there was supposed to be a steady amount going in. But one day, I checked it, and the balance wasn't where I thought it should be. I didn't freak out at first. I asked her about it, casually, like, hey, did we have to dip into savings for something? I thought we had more in there. She got a little flustered, but she brushed it off again, saying she had reinvested some money into her business, buying new equipment and software. Seemed reasonable. I didn't think much of it, but then it happened again. And again. The account kept getting smaller, and I knew something wasn't adding up. I finally decided to log into the account myself to look through the transactions, but the password had been changed. That set off every alarm in my head. I asked her about it, and she looked panicked for a second, before quickly recovering. Oh, I changed it because of a security thing, she said. I meant to tell you. I'll give you new password. I got the password, but by then, I knew something was wrong. I went through the statements, and that's when it hit me like a truck. Thousands of dollars. Thousands. Were gone. Just disappeared. And when I asked her about it, really pressed her this time, she broke down. I was trying to help, she said through tears. I didn't know how to tell you. I thought I could fix it. Fix what? Turns out her brother, let's call him D, was in deep trouble with his business. He's always been the type to chase big dreams with no plan. He'd started this business a few years back, and apparently, it had been tanking for a while. Instead of letting it fail, he went to C and begged for help. And what did she do? She gave him our savings. Not just once. Repeatedly. Why didn't you tell me? I asked, trying to stay calm, but my voice was shaking. I didn't want you to get mad, she said, and I thought if I helped him out, we'd get the money back once his business turned around. Her logic made no sense to me. This wasn't some one-off emergency loan. She had drained nearly everything we had saved, all while lying to my face. I didn't care about her brother's business. I cared about the fact that she had done this without telling me. Without even considering talking to me about it. How much? I asked, my heart pounding. She couldn't look me in the eye when she told me the number. Over $50,000. Gone. I don't remember exactly what I said after that. It was probably a mix of disbelief and anger. She kept saying she was sorry, that she didn't mean for it to go this far. That she thought she could handle it. But all I could think about was how long this had been going on. How many months, years even, had she been lying to me? How many times had I asked her about the money, and she just lied straight to my face? We didn't talk much for the rest of that night. I needed space, needed to think. I spent the next few days trying to process everything. Going over every conversation, every decision, every lie. I kept coming back to the same conclusion. I couldn't stay married to someone who would do this. It wasn't just the money, though that was a huge part of it. It was the betrayal. The lying. The fact that she made a decision that affected both of us without even considering me. When I told her I wanted a divorce, she flipped. Not the reaction I expected. She went from apologetic to defensive in a matter of seconds. You're just going to throw everything away? Over money? She snapped, her face red with anger. It's not just about the money, see. You lied to me for months. You made decisions that affected both of us without telling me. How can I trust you after this? I was trying to help my brother, she yelled, like that justified everything. I did what I thought was best for my family. Our family, I said, my voice rising. What about us? What about the life we were building together? You didn't even give me a chance to have a say in this. She didn't respond to that. She just kept pushing, trying to make me feel like I was the one being unreasonable. You're really going to blow up our marriage over one mistake? You're going to leave me because I tried to help someone? One mistake? I repeated, incredulous. You drained our entire savings and lied about it for months. That's not one mistake, see. That's a pattern of lies and betrayal. Her face twisted into something I hadn't seen before. Resentment, maybe. You're being dramatic, she said coldly. We can rebuild the savings. It's not the end of the world. I stared at her speechless. She really didn't get it. She didn't understand that it wasn't just about the money. It was about trust. Without trust, what's left in a marriage? I told her I wasn't changing my mind. That's when she started playing dirty. She went to her parents, her sister, her whole family, telling them I was abandoning her. She spun the story to make me look like the bad guy, conveniently leaving out the part where she'd secretly funneled our savings to her brother's failing business. Suddenly, I was getting calls from her mom, her sister, even her brother, who, by the way, had no shame in asking me if I'd loan him more money to save his business. I hung up on him before I said something I'd regret. C's family kept trying to get me to reconsider. Her mom called me, saying, she made a mistake, but she's your wife. You can't just leave her over something like this. Does she even tell you what she did? I asked, cutting her off. Well, she said she was helping Dee, and things got a little out of control, but she lied to me for months, I said, my voice hard. She drained our savings without telling me. She let her brother bleed us dry while lying to my face. So no, I'm not just leaving her over something like this. She broke my trust. Her mom went quiet after that. I think she finally understood how bad it really was. But C wasn't done. When she realized her family wasn't going to sway me, she tried a different tactic. Guilt. She'd cry, saying she'd fix everything, that she'd get the money back, that she couldn't believe I was throwing away our marriage over a little mistake. It's not a little mistake, I'd tell her, over and over again. You lied to me. You put your brother ahead of our future, ahead of us. I can't come back from that. She didn't get it. Or maybe she didn't want to. Either way, she kept pushing, trying to make me feel like I was being unreasonable, like I was the one throwing everything away. But I wasn't budging. Things escalated again when I officially filed for divorce. She tried to stall the process, dragging her feet on paperwork, and then she started making threats. I'll make sure you don't get anything, she'd say. I'll drag this out for as long as I can. I wasn't worried. I had all the proof I needed, the bank statements, the emails, everything showing where the money had gone. But it was exhausting. Every step of the way, she fought me, trying to manipulate the situation, trying to make me doubt myself. But I knew what I had to do. I got a lawyer, locked down my finances, and made sure she couldn't pull any more stunts. The divorce process was ugly, but eventually, it started moving forward. She still calls me sometimes, begging for forgiveness, saying she'll make it up to me. But I'm done. I can't be with someone who doesn't understand what trust means. We're almost at the end now. The divorce is close to being finalized, and I'm ready to move on. She still tries to reach out, begging for another chance. But it's over for me. The trust is gone, and I can't live with someone who put Liza and her brother's failing business ahead of our future. Her family has mostly backed off, though I still get the occasional message from her brother asking for more money. I ignore it. Looking back, it's clear I did the right thing. You can't build a life with someone who hides things from you, especially something this big. I'm hurt, sure, but I'm also relieved. I can start fresh now, without the weight of her lies dragging me down. If you've made it this far, hit subscribe. Unlike C, I won't drain your savings.